The NBA is full of drama and fun, and the fans love every second of it. It's not a secret that players often get too worked up because of all the adrenaline and end up being downright disrespectful, but some take it a little too far. In this video, we'll be talking about the 12 most disrespectful moments in the NBA of all time. Let's dive right in. Starting with number 12, Yao Ming. Nothing can be more embarrassing than a failed dunk in the NBA, especially when a shorter NBA player blocks a taller one. The game was the New York Knicks versus the Houston Rockets. Among the players was Yao Ming, who was over 7 feet tall, and quite a superstar at that point. What went down was that Yao Ming attempted a rather simple dunk, but Nate Robinson decided to block it, and he was successful. But what made the whole thing disrespectful for Ming was when he realized the height of the man who just blocked the dunk. Nate's height was just 5'9". It was pretty impressive of Robinson to block a man who had more than a foot of height over him. Yao couldn't even face the whole thing and covered his face after the block to make it look like he was fouled. Next up at number 11, Draymond Green. The Warriors were battling it out with the Thunder in the Conference Finals Game 3, and the stakes were high. During the second quarter, Warriors forward Draymond Green was given a flagrant 1 foul for kicking Thunder forward Steven Adams in the crotch. Yes, you heard that right. Green kicked Adams between the legs as he went up for a shot. Adams fell to the ground in pain and had to be briefly pulled from the game, and it wasn't even the first time this happened between the two. In Game 2, Green also appeared to have caught Adams with a shot below the waist. Fans in Oklahoma City started shouting, "Throw him out," while referees assessed Green's foul. Later, Draymond defended himself by saying that it wasn't intentional, while the Thunders rightfully disagreed with him. Everyone knew it was a dirty play and just downright disrespectful move to make, especially when you consider what a lovely fella Adams is. Moving on to number 10, Gorgui Dieng. It was a regular season game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and Houston Rockets. Tensions were running high as Minnesota was losing and the Rockets were leading 109-96. The disrespectful event in question started in the fourth quarter when Gorgui Dieng was working in the post and Chris Paul stepped over to double-team him. Paul fouled Gorgui and lost the ball that had come off him during an offensive possession. As Paul bent to pick up the ball, he was then knocked to the ground by Dieng without any reason. The poor guy was only trying to get the ball. Gerald Green, Paul's teammate, responded by shoving Dieng extra hard, resulting in a fight between the two teams. After the game, Dieng spoke with the media and explained that he thought Paul's actions were a cheap shot instead of owning up to his disrespectful act. Following that, at number 9, Rajon Rondo. The game was between the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Lakers. With 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter and the Rockets leading 109-108, emotions were already running high. The Lakers and the Rockets got into a fight after Chris Paul punched Rajon Rondo in the face, but that wasn't where it all started. Let's play it back a little. We saw that on a dead ball, one Lakers player and Carmelo Anthony began to talk, while Rondo and Paul exchanged a few words. Rondo then spits on Paul's face as the two moved closer. Disgusting. Unsurprisingly, he got punched, and hands were thrown, but they were separated by other teammates finally. The two were then kicked off from the game too, as expected. How much more disrespectful can you get than that? Up next at number 8, Damian Lillard. With only a few seconds remaining, the Blazers and the Thunder were tied at 115. While all-world defender Paul George waited, Lillard remained over the three-point line, lazily assessing the field. Seemingly taking no definitive move as the seconds passed, Lillard looked relaxed and calm, and George, who had slightly backed off in case Lillard went for the lane, started to act nervous, as if something were wrong with the world. And it was. Lillard was supposed to move, if not close in. He was supposed to be searching for a good clean shot that would give the Blazers the best opportunity to win Game 5 and end the series. Lillard pulled up with 3 seconds left and scored the game-winner basket with George's hand extended. Given Lillard's smack-talking exchanges with Russell Westbrook throughout the series, his deep shot stung a little more than usual, especially as he waved goodbye to the Thunder. Coming up at number 7, Shawn Kemp. Golden State Warriors and Seattle Supersonics faced one another in a playoff game back in 1992. Few men in NBA history have dunked as much and as intensely as Kemp, and none have ever disrespected anyone the way Kemp did Alton Lister. The game reached its peak when Shawn Kemp of the Seattle Supersonics dunked on opponent Alton Lister and scored the basket. Lister lost his balance and fell to the ground. In his rage, Kemp lost his sportsmanship and kicked Lister while taunting him with some terrible words. He even fixed his eyes on Lister and made a crotch double finger point. It was definitely one of the most disrespectful post-dunk celebrations of all time in the NBA. At number 6, we have LeBron James. LeBron dunks are always thrilling to NBA fans because they're so forceful and clean. We guarantee Jason Terry felt the full force of the dunk Slam when the Heat played the Boston Celtics. The Heat used a turnover to speed down the floor and set up a big slam by LeBron James. The game's disrespectful play wasn't the turnover, and the dunk wasn't even close to it. It was LeBron's reaction after the dunk that was offensive. Jason Terry was unlucky to be in the way of LeBron as he made his slam. LeBron, who stands 6 feet 9 inches tall, hit Terry harder to the ground than he did the ball into the basket. "Who's tough now" was written all over James' face as he stood over Terry. The poor Celtic was helped from the ground by a few of his teammates, and the expression on his face the entire game just served to show how humiliated he felt. For number 5, we have Michael Jordan. In 1991, the Bulls faced off against the Denver Nuggets, led by Dikembe Mutombo. Perhaps one of the most prominent shot blockers of his generation, Mutombo's biggest weaknesses were his free throws. Jordan was certainly aware of this, and that's what led to the disrespect. MJ was at the free throw line when the trash talk between the two started. Jordan told Mutombo that he could shoot his next free shot while closing his eyes. Michael assumed the bully role, but he made the best of his chances. Jordan shut his eyes and made his free shots. Making matters worse, the Bulls went on to win the game 107-100. Up next at number 4, Stephen Curry. In Game 4 of the Denver Nuggets and Golden State Warriors first-round battle, Steph Curry made a prediction about his shooting. Everyone knows how much of a cold-blooded killer Steph is when it comes to scoring from the three-point range, but on this day, he took it to the next level as he already knew what would happen to the ball when he shot it. Curry's shot drifted into the air, he turned his back and talked to the bench, and to everyone's surprise, the shot actually went into the basket. It was Curry at his most savage. Following that at number 3, Michael Jordan's finger wag. Michael Jordan once again makes our ranking. Only a select few NBA players have been able to rile Michael Jordan while they were playing. Jordan and Mutombo had a friendly rivalry that was well known. Later in his career, Jordan stated that he had always wanted to dunk on Mutombo, but Mutombo would look at his opponent and wave his finger back and forth every time he blocked a shot. Jordan finally got his dunk on his rival in the 1997 NBA All-Star Game. His reaction after it was wagging a full-fledged finger at Mutombo. While being offensive, it's still hilarious to look back at it after all these years. It only took Jordan 7 years to make this dunk. Moving on to number 2, we have Allen Iverson. It was the 2001 NBA Final between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Los Angeles Lakers. With less than a minute remaining in overtime of Game 1, Allen Iverson crossed over future head coach and NBA champion Ty Lue in the right corner, stepped back, and hit the jump shot against the Shaq and Kobe-led Laker dynasty. Lue failed in his attempt to block the shot, fell to the ground, and then watched it go into the basket. Now, Allen could have just walked around Lue after making the shot. Instead, Iverson stepped over Lue like a yuppie stepping over a poor man in Park Street Station as he looked down at him in disgust. It was a power move, no matter how disrespectful it was. Much to the misfortune of Iverson, Game 1 was the last game the Sixers won that year. The Lakers went on to win in the next 4 games and claimed the NBA championship. Finally, we have Reggie Miller. The most disrespectful incident in NBA history took place at Madison Square Garden in 1995. The important playoff game between the Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks was coming to a close. With 8.9 seconds remaining, the Pacers trailed by 6 points. This lead is usually safe, but that wasn't the case this time. The Hall of Famer sharpshooter Reggie Miller scored 8 points in the game's final seconds to give Indiana the lead. After putting the Pacers ahead, Miller turned to superfan Spike Lee and gave him the two-handed choke sign and grabbed his shorts. This move made him New York's public enemy number 1, and rightfully so. Later on, he expressed how he regretted doing the sign. It must have been super fun to watch it all go down live. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Thanks for watching. So, which disrespectful moment has shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. As always, remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. We'll see you next time.